Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the podcast. I'm your co-host M2 Dave, and I'm here with with the full crew, all the co-hosts: Crimson, Rio, Slips, Tom Brady, Zyphox, and today our special guest is Dab, one of the premier Jax players, one of the premier rushdown fools. Sorry, Dab, in the community. Dab, welcome to the podcast, man.
Yo, what's good, Deb?
Man, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be a rush down fool. Kicking it with everybody, kicking it old school.
That's right, man. You do it very well. Definitely one of the premier Jax players, and I think one of the Jax innovators, right? Do you consider that? Do you consider yourself one of the Jax
I
innovators?
mean, after Manny and Tyrant, yes, for sure. I mean, I definitely got to pass my way through them first. Like I looked up to them first, so for sure. But I guess you could say like for MK11, yeah, for MK11, for sure.
All right, that's very very good to hear. So again, we were all happy to have you on, and again, I'm very happy to have all of our crew back, including Slips and including a Zyphox. So right off the bat, okay, I wanna talk about the tournament, the East and the West tournament. I think Crimson, you can please correct me. I don't know what the official name was. Was it just the ESL East and West Crimson? Is that what they called it?
NA East,
I
NA
think
West, I
it's
think, right?
yeah, in a like pro competition East and pro competition West
Yeah.
or something.
All
like
right,
that.
thank you. So it happened over the weekend, uh, and I hope all of you watched. I watched all of the games. I really had a good time watching them. Um, and right from the beginning, let's do hero of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect legend. All right, he says he never gets credit.
Oh, snap.
Perfect legend, hero of the week for making top 8 in winners on the East. I think most people agree maybe East had a little bit tougher competition. I think that's fair to say,
That
right?
means there's only
Not
one
being
fool
biased.
of the week then to go along with that. You have to there's one obvious fool of the week then.
Well, hold on.
I mean, Peel had some good wins though. I mean, he's played really good against Tweety and a couple other people. Like he got some good wins.
That's right, hero. Yeah,
Like
definitely
he didn't have a
perfect.
free bracket where he didn't fight anybody. He fought against good people.
That's right. So he had a solid performance with Kung Lao. Used a little bit Cabal on the side. That was kind of his secondary. I would definitely say. So congratulations to him. He did a good job. All right. Now, fool of the week. Perfect legend. Who else, right? Perfect legend. Fool of the week. Why?
What?
For the
Why?
way-
Wait, why fool of the week?
What?
Because you look
He
at the
got
way-
bodied in
No
top 8.
way.
No. Not because he lost his
Why?
top eight.
Wait, what he said?
Tom, hold on. For the way he conducted himself after he made top 8 on Twitter. Did you hear some of the stuff that he said? He was the Michael Jordan, the Kobe Bryant, the Lionel Messi. Like, I mean, with all due respect, calm yourself down, sir.
Wait,
You
how
gotta
did-
Wait,
calm-
did he win the? Did he win the tournament?
No, he
No,
didn't.
he got bodied in top 8.
Calm down.
No. By the way, Rio and I thought about this very carefully, and again, we give it credit, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you guys saw some of the tweets that he posted over those. As soon as he made top 8, it was just ridiculous. Tom, it was. You cannot defend that.
Who is Tom nominating for Fool of the Week?
CrimsonShadow every week.
Oh my God, dude! Come on, are you kidding me?
Not
Every
Crimson
Gotta
Shadow.
podcast is
keep
the
it
same
consistent,
shit.
man. Dave started the trend, man. We gotta keep it.
We
We're
haven't
gonna-
even started the podcast yet.
We gotta keep it
And here
consistent.
we go.
right?
And
Tom
already
has the
Tom
Fool of the Week.
attacking. Tom already attacking Crimson Shadow. But I think again, I give prop. We all give prop where it's due. Definitely perfect legend. Still got it.
Yeah.
Do not doubt the man. He is a 2-time EVO champion. He deserves
3-time.
He's
Think
the
I'm
he,
sorry.
he, you can say he's a
Two-time.
real 2-time right there. That's a real 2-timer.
Wait, he's 3-time though.
Oh yeah, he is a
DOA.
3-time.
DOA.
That is true.
Yeah, oh yeah, DOA. Thank you for mentioning that. We don't want to
But
leave that out.
considering we're talking about MK, I guess we can definitely say that he has.
Yeah, I think most people will remember the MK9 ones because because we're
how
all
many
MK players.
how many multiple Evo winners do we have in our community actually?
Just Sonic and Peel. That's it.
Exactly. So I mean, he's a pretty good company.
Only 2 of them.
Only and is something else should be noted, and only one 2-time MLG winner ever for any of the communities, if I'm not mistaken, and that's Rio with Cabal Rio. Am I right or wrong?
3-time technically if you count the tournament before the first MLG.
I did that
Yeah.
interview with Rio, and I asked him, "How does it feel to be the only two-time winner?" And Rio was like, "It's cool. This dude's trying to troll me. Has him giving him the interview." I was like,
I mean, it was
"Bro."
okay. I didn't feel different after
I
I
was like,
won.
"Bro, are you trolling me right now in this interview?" Like, I was like,
Nah, dude, that was just his ego. He just knew he was gonna win. You know, like this is expected.
All right, Zyphox, chill, dude.
"All right, so go ahead, Dave, with the topics." Yeah,
Sounds like some animation.
Well, yeah,
Go ahead.
let's just talk. Let's talk about the tournament. Talk about the stuff that you like, that you dislike. You know, the usual kind of how we did with the we play Dragon Temple tournament, and then after we talked about after we talk about the tournament, I want to have Dab talk about his opinions of the game, his opinions on the character, etc. So let's start with Crimson.
Yeah, so I thought it was a really good event. Obviously, I think beforehand, everyone knew that the East was going to be ridiculously stacked. And, credit to PL, like, this was a big bracket. I think there were 374 players that entered this week, right? So, no small task.
Wait,
There were
wait,
a lot
wait,
of,
wait, wait. NA East?
yeah, NA East.
Wasn't it like close to 900 people?
They didn't show up. So,
Oh, the people. Okay. Sorry.
870 people registered, but as far as people who checked in and played, it was like 374 players.
Okay. My bad.
So yeah, still a huge bracket. There are a bunch of really tough matches that happened in like top 16, top 32, like around there. And but yeah, I think we saw some interesting trends. So number one, I think it's obvious that Cetrion is here to stay for the moment. Like even the people who aren't manning Cetrion are starting to pick her up to play her in matchups where they feel they want to keep somebody out. All right. So I think this between the East and West, we saw like 3 or 4 Cetrions this week, right? Dragon was playing Cetrion, obviously. Rewind had a Cetrion. Mighty Unjust is playing. Actually, he played Cetrion in another tournament this week. But anyway, the point is, Cetrion is definitely becoming one of, if not one of the most picked characters, definitely one of the most popular sides or counter picks as well. And I think for obvious reasons, right? We already talked about it before, but she's comfortable everywhere on the screen at every time. There's no range where Cetrion's like, oh boy, whether she's a full screen, mid screen, whether she's in close, right? She can space people out with the tornado and get back and forth
Avoids
in
the
the
wake
game.
up system. No.
Right. So yeah, I thought Kombat. This was a huge week for Kombat. Right. We've always known that Kombat is one of the best players in our scene. He's been one of the only players who can consistently challenge guys like Rewind, like Sonic Fox, like Ninja, people like that. So I think this is an absolutely huge week for him, and congratulations to him. I think aside from that, right, a lot of expected stuff. Samuj played really well. Sonic's Joker is still good, even if he didn't win. Honeybee making it in with Devora was also huge. And yeah, overall, I thought it was really fun to watch.
Thank you, Dab. Did you watch the tournament? And if so, would you like to comment?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, want to let you know, I'm too Dave, a big fan of your Freddy Krueger, MK9. Great. Sad to tell you, before I got on here, so thank you. No, honestly, the tournament.
That was one hell of an impression. You get props for that.
Well, thank you. I think, yeah, the tournament was pretty cool. For me personally, I don't think I'll be able to really compete in those, just for the fact that they are still running on that dinosaur ESL system. Being now that I have two, baby Dabs, like 2 kids, like at the time I just can't. It just creates a stressful environment for me. So I'd rather just keep this.
Dab, I think you accidentally muted yourself, just so you're aware. Dab? Yeah, go ahead. You
I'm
actually.
sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I had my son was crying. I don't want.
Okay, no problem.
So anyways, yeah. For me, if it was somewhat a little bit faster, like how like Smash, how like Aquaman runs this tournament, or how they used to run War of the Gods, or or even Destroy, or these newer tournaments, I definitely would. But yeah, nothing against them. I mean, shit, I flourished from ESL, so it's just the timing's just not for me anymore. So. But yeah, I did see it. I think that's awesome to see PL get top 8, especially in winners. Because I mean, let's be honest here. People are always shitting on PL, no matter what. Though, and PL's not out there like really, you know, trying to ask for it, right? I mean, some people may disagree. I mean, PL is going to be PL and do what he does, right, and says what he says. But I mean, I think PL had every right to say whatever he said, for getting top 8, all that stuff. Because if people found it annoying, people found it, pompous of him to say stuff like that, like I'm back, with the Michael Jordan stuff and all that stuff. I thought it was great. I think it's great for the scene. I thought it was entertaining. But back to the hotel. I think if people found that annoying and it was really pompous of him, how annoying is it that people ride him all day long, troll him all day long? Even when he's just waking up breathing and they're like, people's like, hey, 13-0, 13-0. Like, isn't that annoying? I feel like we can't pick and choose, So if he's out there and he put in the work, shit, brag about it all you want, man. You did it. You did that. Like, no one can take that from you. So I think I give a big kudos to PL for doing that for sure, especially for all the people that shit on him, call him washed up, whatever. I don't think people should be able to pick and choose. Just from my point of view, or I guess that's just how I see things. I could be wrong, but that's just how I see things. But yeah, man. I mean, the tournament was great to see. And I think it was pretty cool too. Real quick, I thought it was pretty cool that from PL to beat Tweety, because they had like a little bickering. I don't know, a week ago or a couple weeks ago or some shit like that. So it was still kind of like fresh out the oven, and I mean that's what we live for, like to see those hype moments and the trash talking shit. I love it. I think it's great. I think we should bring that shit back to the scene. But yeah, speaking on, that was a great Rand tournament. I mean, you still see those familiar faces in that top 8. It just goes to show that they're grinding and they're putting in that work. You know what I mean? Regardless of what the game is, what's in it, the mechanics. You see those same faces up there. So I mean, if you see those same faces, maybe you should take a page out of their book and abuse what they're abusing, learn what they're learning, throw your pride to the side. Old dogs could always learn new tricks. I mean, that's how I see it. Jesus.
All right, Deb. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Feel free to add anything else at any time. I want to move on to Rio and ask for his opinion. Rio, if you want to comment on the tournament as well, please.
Yeah, the tournament was great. I saw both of them. I liked how, the West Coast, you saw more of like some Shang, some Fujin, some Scorpion, and then on the East Coast, you're seeing characters like, Johnny, Cassie, Cetron. And about Cetron, yeah, she's getting a lot more popular now. And it's kind of interesting because in the beginning, a lot of people didn't gravitate towards her because they didn't find her playstyle fun. Like a lot of people don't seem to be about zoning and playing lame. They kind of want to play a different style. So it's kind of interesting how like almost 2 years later, now more people are playing her and using her. And I don't know if this is true because I don't play Cetron, so I don't know her matchups like that. But I've heard rumors that right now she doesn't lose to anybody. Like her worst matchups are 5-5. And if that's the case, then it makes sense, People are going to play in tournament, they want to use a character that's going to give them the best chance to win. If you're maining a character like Cetron, at least you won't have to worry about playing 4-6s or anything. You play these matchups, and if you play good, you can beat them. We saw Dragon put in work and beat Sonic Fox, which was great. Kombat played excellent. He won the whole thing. Samij was playing on point. Overall, every match was pretty much good. I had a blast watching it.
I agree with that for sure.
Thank you. Let me also just, before I let Slip speak, let me give some props as well to one of our frequent guests and one of my premier training partners, Cowboy, who's like about he's not an older generation, but he's one of our older players who's been with our team for a long time. So I want to give him props as well for placing top in losers of the West competition with Shang Tsung. Yeah, so also huge props for props to him. Great job for sticking with Shang Tsung. He gets blown up not for the same reason that Perfect Legend does. Cowboy's more of a down player, and we can talk about that another time. But again, congratulations to him for placing top 8 as well in that on the Western in the Western competition. Slips, did you watch the tournament? If so, would you also comment, please?
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I did hear like a couple of the results. I heard Wound got top 8, which is awesome. I did not know about Perfect Legend he actually got top 8. Like he's in top 8, and then he got eliminated immediately. Like, and then he pops off. Like that sounds great to me. Like I don't. That sounds like days of old. This is exactly everybody should be. Well, I mean, everybody we need drama. So the PL's bringing the drama, then sounds juicy to me.
Perfect Legend never disappoints, right? He's gonna make a controversy out of everything, and then I think that I agree with you guys with Dab and Slips. That's really I think what the scene is like, and I think a lot of these players are now friends with each other. Like Sonic Fox is friends with Samish is friends with they kind of play with each other. They have their own clique, kind of like all of us do more or less. Which is natural. It kind of almost is like an age thing. The younger players kind of stick with each other, the older players kind of stick with each other, and which is cool. But Perfect Legend is kind of like a lone wolf. He just does whatever the hell he wants, right? Like he'll play you, he'll talk shit about you, he'll win, and I think it adds definitely a certain type of flavor. And Treaty does that as well. It definitely keeps the scene more interesting when it otherwise would not be. Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the tournament. I really liked seeing PL in top 8. It's one of the main reasons. I know until I saw his tweets. So of course, as soon as I got home from work, I turned it on, and I got to restream most of both tournaments. People want to blow up PL. You have to understand, to Dab's point, how irritating it must be to constantly be like crapped on 24/7 every minute of every day. PL is by far the second most hated on player in the history of the NRS community. Not even close.
Wait, who's the first one?
Let's not get into that.
Yo, no.
Don't even ask that question, bro.
No,
Come
but
on.
he's in the top 2 most hated on, and the top 2 most hated players, period. So he has to go every morning, noon, and night hearing about how dumb he is or how garbage he is, or 13. Think of how many years 13-0, 13-0, 13-0, right? Like,
It's been 5.
God, he
Damn.
has to eat that every minute of every day. And, so for him to do it, I mean, look, it's just, there's just something. See, the thing is, this is online. So you're robbed of something that's really, really. Zyphox was like the master of this, the just emotional, like, outbreak pop off, right? And that's some of the cool things about offline tournaments. When a guy has to eat it and eat it and eat it for so long, and he rises up and gets that top spot. You see that on stage, that raw emotion, it just comes out right there. But because there's no stage, where's it going to come out? Twitter, etc. And you just have a long time to sit around and stew and tweet this and then tweet some more, tweet some more. It's not like that outburst of emotion you get on stage, and then like it's really cool to see. So that's all that really was. I mean, people do that all the time. It's not really an issue to me, and I couldn't be happier, for Carl to see him in the top 8 after all the stuff he's had to eat for years and years and years and years. So I think he's 100% justified in everything he said. I mean, this is what we want to see. We want to see passion. We want to see that emotion in our players, and it's different because we don't get to see it live like we're so used to seeing. But again, it's just that overflow, that passion just spilling over, that that raw emotion, and I think it was pretty cool. I also really enjoyed watching Wound Cowboy in top 8 in the West. That was awesome to see. Wound still back at it. It's not easy to go to school, have your job, etc., have your career, and compete. So it was awesome to see that as well. And I love how the format was done, how you had the NA East, and then it was like, hey, we'll be back in about 45 minutes. Shut the stream down, set everything back up, turn it back on. NA West, and it was done. The top 8s were done very, very timely. I think they were done before midnight, maybe 11 p.m. So to start in the evening, like or like late afternoon / evening, and be done by that time, I think it was a really, really good job how they got the top 8 done efficiently, and the broadcast team was great. I love seeing Arma with the Santa Claus hat. That was awesome. Ultra David Aquaman did a great job as well. and overall the production was good. ESL used to have intermissions that were like 15 minutes for the next match, and it wasn't like that. They did a whole block of matches, quick 5-minute intermission, run ads, whatever, right back in. I really like how they did that. I thought it was awesome to watch, and I think the presentation, the production, and the play was all top notch.
Yeah, I mean, as far as PL goes, they did say he would never place again. There were people saying that. It's good to see they proved them wrong. And to me, it's crazy how people can remember PL losing 13-0 5 years ago, but most of these people don't even know who won the MK11 Major at CO last year. To me, that's just crazy.
Well, here's one of the things about PL, and I think maybe some of you guys will agree with this, right?
Wait, who won that?
Exactly, Zyphox, that's my point, but I'll tell you
Sonic
who
Fox.
got 13-0 6 years ago.
Whatever
Sonic
you
Fox
say,
over Dragon.
whatever you say about PL is one of the biggest victims of self-inflicted wounds in the history of fighting games. PL puts himself out there, and if you're gonna be a villain, it's hype. But the thing is, when you lose, then you gotta hold it. And so, if PL wants to associate himself with Jordan, for example, then he can't be mad at people if he doesn't make top 8 for the next 3 months and he becomes associated with crying Jordan memes. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
Yeah, that's very true.
if you're gonna put
I
yourself,
think-
if you're gonna be a villain, you have to be able to take the heat.
Yeah, if you're going to throw a punch, you got to be able to take one.
Yeah.
Yeah, consequences are good for that type of stuff.
Yeah, but I think for me, how I see it, I think respectfully, I think that's invalid because I mean, all the shit that he's taken for years, all the shit that he takes for years, you know what I mean, and he's genuinely like a good guy. Like if any of us know, he's genuinely a good guy. I mean,
Yeah.
he does have his dick moments, but don't we all? And then also on top of that is like, I mean, no one will ever take away his two evil medals, and I think he won some in some other games too, I believe. So I mean, regardless of the fact that if you're gonna pick on people, right? Regardless of what they say or whatever the case is, I mean, I do believe people should be held accountable for what they do and what they say for sure. But if I had the boots on, if I had the hat on, the blade hat on my head, I'd talk shit too, or I'd say hold that shit too because all y'all talk shit about me, all y'all said this to me. You guys remember when I lose 13-0, but you don't want to hold that when I make top 8, and then here comes all that, so
Really
I
what
don't
it
know.
is, it's revisionist history. People, especially nowadays, love to literally rewrite history. They
Yeah, fuck them.
repeat something gets repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated for years, and then it becomes the reality. It becomes the truth. But PL is very fortunate. He's had those 3 Evo wins. So no matter how much people have tried to revise history and say, nah, he was never good, he never did anything, yada, 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 the fact that that's like etched in stone, etched in history, you really they could only take away but so much because it is there, it was done. But they did everything in their power to discredit it, to downplay it, to look over that accomplishment. Like, yeah, I mean, he won a few Evos, but I mean, seriously, what is he doing today? Like, you'd have players who never
Right.
won. You have players who have never placed anywhere or done anything, literally crapping on this dude. Like, what has he done? He won a bunch of Evos. Psh, I could have won those Evos back then. Like, literally, this is what people say. So they couldn't totally. If had PL not won those Evos and just been like, even if he was second place at all those Evos, you would literally hear he never did anything, never won anything, never placed anywhere. They would literally wipe everything he's done out of existence.
True,
Because he had.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
there's pretty much like there's a term for these people too. They're called bottom dwellers. That's what people call them. Because if you look at it, to be washed up, you were once top, right? At least you're washed up. That means you made it to the surface. You're not top on the oceans right now riding the waves, but you were up there.
Yeah.
But when you're concerning yourself with what bottom dwellers tell you, they've never been to the top. They never even gotten a chance to become washed up.
Yeah, but I mean, you
So I feel like
you can, even in the real world, even in the NBA, like today, all the GMs, a big survey came out that even though LeBron James has the most game-winning shots in NBA history in the postseason, he's still considered not clutch. I don't want him to have the last shot. If you repeat something enough, even executives at the highest level buy into the new narrative. Something gets repeated so much that it becomes the thought process. It becomes the truth. And
Tom, but
even
there's a Tom. Hold on, you're not telling the whole context here. I think I
Yeah.
agree. Before I let Zyphox say his piece, Zyphox, I'm sorry. Thanks for being patient.
It's okay.
LeBron James doesn't talk shit. LeBron James doesn't put others down. And as much as I've criticized Sonic Fox in the past, when he lost the series, you know what he said? Good games to Kombat, good games to Dragon. I will come back stronger. There was no disrespect. There was no drama. There was not. It was professional. Perfect Legend cannot handle his losses. Let's stop being politically correct and bullshitting each other right now.
Are
Because
we
I think
are we just
Crimson.
talking
I
about
think
Perfect
no.
Legend
It's yes, we
and
are.
13?
I
Are
think
you just
Crimson.
talking about the
Yeah.
13-0?
No,
Or
it's
just
just
in
about
general?
everything in
No,
general.
just in general.
Guys, in general, I've
I
been
don't know.
part of this community. He's in my state. I know the way he acts. I'm not saying this to blow this up, but I feel like I can't lie to the audience. I can't lie to you guys. I had my saltiest moment where I played a villain and I come up and talk shit, and I had a lot of stuff that I talked came back later to bite me, and I have to accept it. Some people don't want to deal with that. They want to talk all this shit. They want to put people down. They want to cause drama. They want to say this. They want to say that. They want to say Kung Lao's low tier. He sucks in MK9. That's what he used to say literally on MLG on stream to people. And he got blown up for it. He doesn't like that. But if you talk, there are consequences. It's not about, oh my God,
having your
everybody hates.
legacy rewritten should not be a consequence.
Nobody's rewriting his legacy. His
They
legacy is in the
try
quote.
because he won those 3 Evos, but
Stop talking. If you're not winning, stop talking. If you think
all
you
right,
can
well,
beat
guess
the best
what? He's
player,
he's doing well now, so I guess he can talk again. I mean,
no, he
Yeah, I guess
can.
he can talk again. Can't
He can, but
So
he's
he's
not the Michael Jordan of
justified.
this community. There's only one Michael Jordan in this community. It's not him.
Who is it
I
then?
don't think he. I don't think he would
Sonic
I
really
mean,
Fox.
refer
come
to
on,
himself.
we all know who it is. Yeah. One thing I do agree with is you should not be a sore loser. I think being a sore loser is one of the worst things you could possibly be. And I don't know if this is true, so please don't blow me up on this, but this is what I heard. I heard when PL beat somebody, beat Tweety, I heard that Tweety said, or this is what somebody said, again, don't blow me up for this. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I heard Tweety was making excuses. He said, it didn't count. You beat me once. You wouldn't beat me in a first to 10. I was playing Melina. She's not that good. The only reason you beat me is I just picked her up.
I've
Blah, blah,
never
blah.
heard him say that. I
Yeah,
call
no, he-
absolute
Okay, so
garbage
this is
on
false
that.
then. Okay, so it's false. Okay.
No,
Well, he
I
did.
thought he was
I
making
have
excuses
never,
for when
I
PL
have
beat him.
never known Tweety to ever say that. I
All right,
did not
yeah,
hear him
because
say that.
he
That-
did.
somebody
He did.
told me that when
I'll
PL
grab the
beat
tweet.
him,
I'll
when
grab
PL
the
beat
tweet right
him,
now.
Tweety made excuses. So I was just trying to clarify.
That's
Well,
complete
It's
garbage.
good he did it. It's good he did it.
He
It's good he
did,
did it.
but I don't.
I'll link the tweet right now.
Yeah, he did, but I don't think the context was like, like you shouldn't have beat me. It was just like, if you want to talk trash, I'm building my Molina right now, and if you want to play $100 money match where I use my other characters, let's
Hey
go.
man, hey man, when you're playing in a tournament and you're not using your main, that's on you, man. I'm sorry. You playing in a
Yeah,
tournament?
that's what I'm
But
saying.
he
You
didn't
can't
make
make
an
excuses.
excuse.
He didn't make an excuse.
So wait,
just
did he
said-
make excuses or
you
not?
got-
Because I
he
heard
did
that he
not.
lost
He
and
did
he was
not
making
make an
excuses.
He did
see it.
not
I
make an
Okay.
excuse. He called him out after the
He
tournament
challenged
for
him to a
another.
money match. Yeah,
Challenged
and
him
he
to a
said,
money match, but he did not make an excuse.
right.
I see it as one, in my opinion. How I see it is like, well, you're lucky.
Well,
I
does
didn't
does
use
anybody know
Johnny.
exactly what he
If I
said?
would've used-
Did he say
if I
anything at
would've
all?
So he pretty much said, if I would have used Johnny or Garrus, it would have been a wash. So let's run a first to 10, $100 money match. To me, I'm just like, okay, well, why didn't you use Garrus and Johnny in the first place?
Wait. He said if he were to play Johnny or Gears, he would have beat him.
He said if he were to play against his Johnny or Garrus, he knows that it would be a wash. He's using his barely used Molina that he just started learning or whatever. And if PL were to play his Johnny or Garrus, PL knows that it would be a wash, and then he challenged him to a first attempt.
See, to me, I feel like things like that, like just say GGs and you'll play better next time. I don't see why
Yeah,
you
to
need
say
to say any kind of
GGs,
excuse.
I'll use my mains next time, or GGs, I won't play stupid and not use Molina next time, and I'll play my main. So, I mean honestly, that's on you, man. Like that's on you for not using your mains. If you felt confident enough to beat him with whatever character you're learning, then that's a different story.
But there's also nothing wrong with calling somebody out in a money match if you feel.
Well, the thing
you
is,
still
here's
feel
the
like-
thing. Here's the thing. Tweety
I feel
didn't.
like people hold money matches as like a higher substance than like tournament wins now. Like
Aren't
it's like-
tournaments more
so-
important than
Well,
money matches?
They're way more important, and I don't know what this whole thing is like.
So if you lose Evo to somebody, you literally could just be like, okay, money match me in a first to 10. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
That to me
I'm
sounds
better
like an excuse.
Yeah,
I know if I lost somebody in tournament, I wouldn't be like, okay,
I don't think
play
it was
me
an
this
excuse. I think
character,
it was
this
more.
game. I'll beat
I
you.
think he was still trying to call him out.
Yeah, well,
afterwards. I don't
but
think it
here's
was
the thing. I didn't see the tweet, so I don't know what's
Well,
true or not. I don't know if any of this was true
Let's
or
be
not.
fair about what happened.
I'm just telling you what I heard somebody told me.
That-
Somebody told me that Tweety made an
Yeah,
excuse when he
guys,
lost.
let's
To be
do one at a
fair-
time. Crimson, go ahead.
To be fair, right? If you're gonna tell the whole story, this was not Tweety's response to losing. Right? Tweety didn't lose and go immediately just start crying on Twitter. What happened was PL beat him, and then PL was tweeting nonsense at Tweety at the rate of
No,
like one tweet.
He quoted Tweety's. He quoted Tweety, and Tweety told him these nuts or some shit, and he said, "How is that working out for you?" And then Tweety posted that because this was, remember, this beef was like a week prior to all this whole tournament. So Tweety hit him with like gobbling these nuts or whatever, like, you know, the fucking jokes or whatever, and like he actually got PL, and people were like laughing at him, making fun of him. So when PL beat him, he quoted that tweet where he told, or he like snapshot a picture of when Tweety told him, you know, deep gobbling these nuts or whatever, and DMs or whatever, and he said, "How's that working out for you?" That's all he said, and then he tweeted, he tagged Tweety, and then Tweety went under, and he said that under his tweet. That's all. He didn't say nothing bad or anything. He said, "How's that working out for you?" That to me, that's fair, because you got me with the gobbling the nuts or whatever, these nuts. You guys know those jokes, right? He got PL with that, and PL was like, "Hey, how's that working out for you?" After he beat him. That's just natural, pure, in-game shit talk. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And then Tweety said that after. So
I mean, that was one of about.
ultimately though, I could give a fuck. I mean, I don't care. I could care less, honestly, like about all that weird shit, like the drama and all this stuff. But I mean, to be factual, that's what happened. That's the real truth.
Crimson,
mean,
what were you gonna say?
I was
Go ahead,
gonna
please.
say that was one of about 30 tweets that PL made about Tweety that day. So all I'm gonna say is, look, you can talk all the smack you want, but if you put it out there, you gotta hold it. Same as, right? If they go back next month for the next edition, and Tweety plays his Johnny and his Garrus, and PL beats him, he's gonna have to hold it because he put it out there, right? So whichever way it is, you talk your stuff, you gotta hold it. That's all I'm saying.
This PL, was he like quoting like Tweety's previous tweets or like just stuff that he said in like DMs or what?
Exactly, because he was like, because Tweety said, how about Goblin style, right? Because I don't know if you guys seen, PL made a tweet like, he
Yeah, I
said
seen
he hoped that like offline tournaments never come back again, whatever, because he feels like, online invitationals, kind of similar to ESL, but not ran by ESL, because we all know it takes a freaking a day and a half for everything to conclude. So he said he it would be good for that, especially because of the time that we're in, because we're dealing with COVID. Offline tournaments may not even be a thing for a while if we don't get things under control. Whatever. Long story short, and people were actually like picking on him and whatever for saying that, because they didn't really understand his context, because we all know that PL, when he says some things, when he says it or tweets it, his context is totally different from what it is. But he doesn't care. He's just going to say it, and he doesn't care what people want to contextualize it as. But but then Tweety was like, "Well, how about Goblin style, right?" And he baited PL, and PL was like, "What's Goblin?" So he was like, "Goblin these nuts." So PL snapshotted that.
That's just
right?
him just being stupid. I
It's
mean, like,
just
such
yeah.
a real person.
I don't know.
That's just
I don't know.
silliness.
At least it's better than another 13-0 joke.
I banned the Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
out of my stream.
I mean, he'll come in the
banned
Discord, and just start like spitting bars and freestyling. He just, just whatever. But I just think the thing is that there is something there between those two in general.
So basically, what happened is PL didn't know that this whole thing was a joke. He thought Tweety was actually trying to make.
No, but I mean, there has been a little bit of talk between them in the past.
Yeah, they've had some beef.
But I mean, look, like I said,
yeah.
if PL, like I said, if you want to pop off, that's fine. And if Tweety's like, hey, you know what, you're still popping off over this, since you're feeling yourself so hard, why don't we put some money up? I mean, that goes both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same way PL had to eat it and eat it and eat it, and he was like, okay, now you guys are gonna fucking eat it, right?
Right, but to answer Slip's question, yes, that's what happened. And then he snapshotted and he tweeted it out and was like, how's that going for you? And that's after he beat him. So that's just like traditional shit talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, let Zyphox weigh in on this, because he's just sitting there waiting, man.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Yeah, Tom. Zyphox, let's get your opinion. I want to move on from this
Yeah.
Perfect Legend and Tweety Drama. Talk about Dab. Talk about Dab and his experience with the game.
Sorry, Zyphox,
Zyphox, go
my
ahead.
bad, bro.
It's all good. It's all good. I agree with Dab and I agree with M2 Dave at the same time because listen, at the end of the day, PL is an entertaining character to have, right? And I think the new age kids don't really understand that. You know, we need a heal every once in a while to make things interesting. Otherwise, it just kind of gets like a little stale, a little boring. Maybe MK11 isn't stale. Maybe the community's stale. I don't know. But then again, we started switching over to like this uh I don't know. The Everything's just so different now than it used to be, and I really can't
Yeah.
pinpoint it. But it has to be in lines of like no one wants to be the bad guy, you know. And then maybe it's because the bad guys weren't winning. You know, everybody who was a heel at one point in time got humbled, and it was like, you know what, like this may be a little too toxic. I don't know what it is, but it's nice to see every once in a while that there's like something going on just makes things more interesting. But at the same time, the thing that makes it the most interesting out of all is the fact that there's consequence behind it, right? And that's exactly what happened. The 13-0, everything that happened to PL is a consequence of being the heel and not putting your money where their mouth is, essentially, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, like you put your money where your mouth is, you'll be just fine. You know, if you start talking shit and you start winning, no one can say anything at all. So you just gotta keep that in mind if you do decide to be that guy that's out there putting all this stuff on Twitter or anything in like real life. Just gotta put up or shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Like in terms of heals, the last heal we had, aside from PL's current resurgence, was Tweety from a couple of years ago.
Yep.
He was my favorite Injustice 2 player to watch because he made the game so entertaining.
Mhm.
I loved watching Tweety play Injustice 2. He was up against Sonic at Evo. He literally got up and told Sonic, "Don't choose Starfire. You're gonna lose. You're not gonna beat Mirror." And he literally did that.
Love it.
Like that to me was hype. So I feel like we're kind of missing out more players like that because that stuff's always a blast to have.
Yeah, that was like some like, yeah.
Well, let's move on. I will. Great comment about the tournament and about Thank you for explaining the Perfect Legend of Tweety drama, guys. Let's ask Dab. Dab, we'd like to keep it real on this podcast. Tell us how you feel about the game. Do you like the game? You don't like the game? Why or why
Um,
not?
I feel like they definitely they definitely bamboozled us. They kind of reeled us in really hard with the hey man, customs are here, and like some of them kind of being banned. I mean, some I understand, but like some of them you can't mix because of the inputs are the same and whatnot. So I thought that was a little bit downer, but I'm not gonna be a Debbie Downer or a complainer about it. I think it's great for the game. If you guys know me, most of you know that I've always wanted like customs, like man, like why are they there but we can't use them? Like
Yeah,
they
you were
can.
one of the first ones on
I was
that
one of the first
kind of
like,
thought.
why are they there? I can't use them. So
I'm still
we
saying that.
right, but exactly that's my point. I feel like they kind of like reeled us in and bamboozled us. But I think it's good. I think a lot of characters did benefit from it. Like we all thought that like Jackie was gonna get neutered and whatever, but like the customs kind of brought her back. In a way she's still strong as hell. So I think it's good. I think the Terminator for me, because I don't have a lot of time to like play like I used to. So I do what I can when I can, how I can. I know I can. So like having the teleport on there, I mean like it's good. I think it's good for the game. Honestly, I think it's really good for the game. Um, I think I've always supported people who like it, even when I had my doubts and my moments in the game before. I still support people who love the game or want to play the game, and I still play. So I mean, I don't think I'm ever gonna not play it because I just love the Terminator. So I don't think you guys will ever see me not playing the game. Um, but speaking on, I heard you guys were speaking on Cetrion earlier. Speaking of the game, I actually feel inclined to pick her up because she's just ridiculous. And I want to I want to exploit that. I really do. I feel like she's literally like now she's like really like the Martian Manhunter of the game. She's really Martian Manhunter. I like she's not playing. She doesn't have the same moves or anything as Martian Manhunter, but she controls everything like Martian Manhunter. So this character is ridiculous, man. She's ridiculous.
From what I've
man.
been hearing, I don't know.
Yeah, she has no counter picks, and she could kind of fight
Yeah.
anybody. Like her worst matchups are 5-5.
I want you to
couldn't
weigh in
ask
on
for a
this,
better
Dad, because
character.
I've been hearing this too. That they say she has no counter, and I asked, well, what is it that takes away her counter matchups? They were like, on top of everything she had, to be able to guarantee that she circumvents the wake up system because the tornado is also an armor break.
Right.
So they were like, by circumventing the wake up system, any type of situation which could have, okay, maybe here you mess up on wake up, etc., doesn't exist. Doesn't deal with breakaway anymore. Doesn't deal with wake up anymore. Great from anywhere on the screen. So literally, I think that's. I'm not sure if I've heard she loses to no one, but I mean, again, people always say this stuff, and then something gets figured out, and it's like, oh, you know what I mean, you know. But the more people pick her up, the more people are going to try to find a counter to it.
Yeah,
So.
I don't really think it's the wake up system that puts her over the top. I think the thing that puts her over the top is that one move she has, her teleport. It's her teleport.
Yeah,
How good it is. I think that's the core of what makes Cetrion so good.
It's always been because Cetrion.
To my opinion, it's always been the teleport. If she does not have the teleport, she would have some hard matchups.
She would get counter zoned by a lot of character, but you cannot counter zone
the teleport.
Her. Yeah.
The teleport, in my opinion, is the move that puts her up there.
I don't think the teleport is much of an issue for counter zoning. I agree with Tom 100%. It's 100% the fact that she ignores the breakaway system for the most part. She ignores the Oki for the most part. She can finish her combos with a wall. After Divine Grab grabs you, the EX1, you're plus 15. This screams of Highborn to me pre-patch. It's super effective. You never have to deal with the Oki system, ever, at any point. The breakaway, again, everything's grounded because of the bind grab, the EX1.
It doesn't matter. You still can't break because tornado.
That's right. And then she has the tornado, and then obviously the teleport is kind of like the cherry on top of the the delicious cake. So go ahead, please.
I feel like the teleport's the thing that makes her not have any losing matchups.
The teleport allows her to zone because you cannot counter zone. It's just.
I don't think. Well, it's a zoning player myself. I don't think that teleport is. I mean, it's an issue, but there are definitely some recovery frames to it. I think.
Yeah, but you have to imagine she would have to play against characters like Baraka or whatever and get cornered and actually have to find a way out of the corner. It would be so much of a different story. The matchup.
Yep.
The fact that some characters can never corner her. Like, look, don't look. I'm not trying to say that her only good move is teleport. I think she's amazing at so many things except for damage. But the teleport to me is the thing that stands out, that seals any kind of her having an issue against any character, is her having that teleport.
Yes, I agree, and I feel like what really puts her over the top with that teleport, because especially before customs, her teleport is ridiculous. She'll zone the shit out of you. Yeah, she doesn't do damage. She does 20% hit. She only does 200 damage. She already hits you, bro, with like 300 damage with just projectiles and catching you jumping and throwing a rock with 100 active frames in front of you when you make her read to jump over it or whatever the case may be. But I think what really puts her over the top now is that tornado with the teleport. Like, she doesn't even need. You could think of her as like a Jax. You know, Jax does burst damage, right? She does burst damage and she zones you. She does burst damage and zones you away, and everything she has is ridiculous. You can't break away. She has one of the top 5 backdashes in the game. She the tornado is stupid. Like it's damn. I'm over here stuttering. It's as dumb as the Rock, and like it's safer. Like you don't like the guessing.
Whoa.
Like there's no
what did
guessing.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson do to you, bro?
Bro.
Dude.
The Rock. You threw me off.
Dude,
That was good.
shut up, man.
Just to kind of explain something to people in case I'm sure most know. So the tornado will actually is flawless blockable after forward 2-3. Not by every character. I think Rio and I have tested it. It requires a certain. It can't be
every character can flawless block it, but it reduces the chip. Yeah, if you're playing like a character like Baraka where you're slow up 2, you're not going to launch her after that. You have to up 3 it.
Okay.
Some characters up 3 doesn't even reach.
I have to weigh in on something because this is one of my biggest pet peeves.
Real quick.
Okay.
Let me just
finish.
Just real quick. Hold on. Yeah, let me just finish about this flawless block. So thank you, Ray, for the correction. And also, but after 1-1 and forward 2, you cannot flawless block at all. Like those jail 100%.
Yeah, the win is guaranteed.
Yeah. So she she does the combo with the EX fine grab. She'll she'll land with the wall with the natural barrier, and then she'll walk up and do, run up and do forward two into the tornado. That's pretty much. I mean, there's nothing really you can do about it. It's pretty much a free check, more or less.
N-
But Dab, go
Nothing.
ahead, please.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. And the thing is, like, even if you want a flawless block, or if you have a 6 frame poke to get out of those, 7 frame gap ones, she could just do rock. Like it comes out quicker than that, so it counters you, and then she can, then you have to guess, is she gonna amplify? Is she not? I think it's just having that the regular one. It's like -4, -5 with pushback, and blocks done, and then the other one's like +1, the enhanced one's +1, and like she puts you at that space where like you're playing injustice in a way. I always felt like MK11 is like injustice 2.5 in a way, because if you look at how these characters are designed, like Liu Kang, for example, like he's throwing these projectiles, right? But like when he throws them up close or things like that, they put them at like the perfect spacing to whiff punish you to trying to dash in or something like that. It's kind of weird, like how they integrated, both systems in a way, but it still has its MK feel. So yeah, I think, like, for me, maining Terminator, like, I think with the teleport, it does help me out, especially in like the Cetrion match and things like that, against characters that do keep me out. Because now they have to really think, because I could just pop up instantly behind them, or like delay it and trick them out. But I think having Cetrion as like a secondary and like maining her in a way is gonna help me a lot, because that character is ridiculous, and it doesn't look like they're gonna touch her at all. The game's been out for almost 2 years, for over 2 years, about 2 years.
I don't know about that, my friend.
2 years.
Almost 2
It's
years.
2 years
I
this
think
April coming up.
Okay,
yeah, I
so
think they
Been
may.
about a year and a
Yeah,
half.
I can see them. Yeah, I
they're
can see
not
them doing something about.
they're not touching.
I
They're,
think I mean, not the teleport. I think Tornado is almost certainly going to get nerfed.
I
That
mean, they
doesn't
might give
matter
her the
anyway. That
Gearus
doesn't even
treatment. They
matter.
might give her the Gearus treatment, where you know how they gave Gearus, if you false block his sand, it's a lot very unsafe. They may do it so if you
It's
false
yeah,
block her tornado, the first part, the tornado may not come out, and then she'll be punishable or something.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, I can see that. I think for certain, like if this trend continues, where we have people like Rewind, who has never really used Cetrion before, as far as I know, or anybody else for that matter. If they continue using her like this, she's almost certainly going to get nerfed, and which is a shame, because he's one of the few viable zoning characters in the game. But I digress about that. I will let Tom say his piece.
well, she has creativity. The characters who have creativity in this game, they thrive.
Yeah, I like creativity, and I'm certainly not. I don't want anything taken away from the characters, because I like character creativity. What I don't like, and this has always been my biggest pet peeve of NetherRealm games, is they say to certain characters, "You can't have that. You can't do that. That'd be a broken mechanic." And then they give it to a better character, and you're like, "What? I thought it'd be broken." Ah, you're just crying. That's what the community always does. But like,
That's fair.
it's kind of a pet peeve, because we really pick and choose what's fair, in my opinion, based on who gets to abuse it. Um, I think it's all cool. I don't mind the Cetrion stuff. It's kind of weird though, because she is a zoner, but like I said, she's a reverse zoner. Everything that she has allows her to zone. Her zoning doesn't allow her to do everything else, which is normally opposite. She's kind of like a reverse zoner, which is kind of an interesting take on a zoning character, because normally the zoner, their ability to zone frees up them doing X, Y, Z, because you got to worry about the zoning. Cetrion's just so weird, because you're worried about everything else, and it's like, why are you worried about that? And looking for this, this, and this. Oh yeah, she can also zone too. So it is an interesting take. So I definitely like seeing originality. To your point, Dab, I also like how Jackie was not gutted through the floor. Like normally you would see something like, and everyone thought she was going to be gutted, she was going to be done. I like how they kept that around, uh, and just kind of like freed everybody else up. But I do, to your original point, I don't understand. I mean, obviously, at some point, and Ed Boon led on to this, that they did at some point consider early in the game letting customs usable. What is the purpose of designing moves that cannot be used at all in the game if you're
Yeah.
going to make a custom mode? Why design
Tom,
a move to
Tom,
be
hold on.
unusable?
I think I wanna you gotta get a little bit more specific, and I think we all know where this is going.
No, it's going more than air. Like say,
What do you, Tom? What do you really want to be legal?
well, hold on. Well, let's say terminate for example. Here's the
Tom, it's not about the Terminator.
no,
Stop
hold
pushing
on.
us.
No,
What do
because
you
I
want
want
to
to
be
get a
legal?
thought.
Just say it already. We all know the answer.
No,
Come on.
hold on. I'm
Fair
I'm
enough.
I'm being fair here. I'm not. I don't have this. Whatever. It's like Terminator. So he has this terminate it broken move. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
But the balance mechanic has already been used. They had a move just like this in MKX, and they balanced it out by saying, "Oh, after X amount of time, Jason falls asleep and he's open for a full combo." Terminator
Yeah.
in a game that has armor break, so he can't block, he can't jump, he can't dash, nothing. All he can do is walk. And you have armor breaker that'll break him free. And if they say, oh, on top of that, after let's say 5 seconds, he deactivates and he's open for a full combo. They already have balancing tools or balancing mechanics for this same
That,
move.
that would have been
Yeah, but see
great.
that's exactly the thing. I mentioned this before. The moves that are currently banned are going to get unbanned for the next patch or eventually. They just need more time to balance them before they enable them.
That's
So
a
right
good
now
way
they're
to think.
currently
That's a good
banned
way to think of
because
it.
they don't know they don't know what like exactly what they want to do with Terminate. Do they want to make it a 3-slot move and keep it how it is? Do they want to give it the cooldown Jason had, but maybe make it a 2-slot move or keep it 1? Like they're still figuring out how they want to balance it. But in the future, I think they're going to unban all the currently banned moves, but they're going to be balanced.
I think that's a good way to look at it for sure, and I think that would be cool though, Tom. Like they do have the options and the
In
tools
my
to,
opinion,
to
I
make
agree. What will they do for Devorah's bug move, which he turns into a bug and flies
Oh, like
around the
she comes
screen?
back to life.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. They may make that a 3-slot move. They're probably going to make that a 3-slot move.
My take is I don't think they wanna, just like with other fighting game developers. I think the goal is not to rock the boat too much. I think that's really the balancing decisions for Tekken, Street Fighter, and even MK11. If you follow,
Can I
if
say
you pay attention. Go ahead.
after Dave? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yo, no
Okay.
problem. No, you can go ahead.
I have to say this. I feel Dave just brought it up to me. MT Dave just brought it up. I feel like MK11 had to bite the bullet. It had to be that game to be extremely watered down because if you think about it, from the past NRS games, they were extremely broken compared to MK11. Right? MK11 is probably the most balanced NRS game they have. Right?
Agreed, by far.
Maybe Injustice 2, but they had some fucked up shit in there too. But their past two games are the most balanced games they've ever had, and they're the most watered down games they ever had, and one after the other
But it's
being
also the most handhold. They did balance by trying to make everything uniform. Like meter. Oh, guess what? Meter. Don't worry about building that. We'll do that for you. But
exactly.
they tried to do. They tried to say, well, in doing it for you, you don't have to worry about, maybe some character builds it better than you. They tried to to achieve perfect balance, things have to be as uniform as possible, right? This way, no character has too much of an edge over another one.
Yeah, that's true. You can't have cast be too diverse because then it's hard to have balance with diverse. You have to kind of pick like which side you're
And
going
that's the
for.
problem.
Right.
That's the problem that I didn't like. So I think customs does help that. It helps because the game there's a lot of universal stuff in the game, and that's how they chose to do balance. But customs does kind of
It,
help with that.
yeah. Customs could have been cooler, but I mean, like I said, they let us on. But I mean, I'm glad we have them. And then, but back to what I was saying. I feel like they had to make this game watered down. They had to nerf it down because if you look at the people complaining from MK9, let's just start with MK9. From MK9 to fucking Injustice 1 to MKX. Oh my god, I would not stop hearing.
They were all
people complain.
casuals though. None of them were
Yeah,
competitive players.
right,
Zero
and they
point
listen,
zero.
and they listen to them, and some were competitive players complaining about it, and I still hear them complain about it to this day. And they're like, you know what, fuck it. They're all crying about our game. They're fucking pussing over our game. Okay, fuck it. We're gonna fucking water down Injustice. We're gonna make that shit slower. Or MK11. I feel like MK11 they had to do it. MK11 had to be that game because people were just kept complaining. So you have to try something else.
But
And
then
when
they
they try.
complained that I was too watered down.
Right, and if
It
they
was like,
yeah, exactly, and if they find out that people don't like it that way, now they know for the future. Fuck the people. Make what
they
they
gotta complain
want to
no
do.
matter what, man. They
Yeah,
gotta
who
complain
gives
no
a
matter
fuck?
what.
They're gonna play no matter what. So I think sadly, MK11 had to bite the bullet. But I mean, we're all still gonna play
Kind
it.
of take
You
it
know, every
away
once
so
in a
you
while.
miss it, so you realize what you had, right? Take it away so that you miss it, and the next time
They had to.
you're more
They had to
thankful.
do it, man. They had to do it, and I'll always stand by this. I'll always will stand by this. MK11 is a game that you don't want to take like super seriously, like as a traditional you know fighting game in a way, like you guys said with the meter building and all that other stuff. I feel like the game is geared towards a little bit more towards, casual, a little bit lower level players, but there is still a skill gap with higher level. I just feel like there's a little bit of a handicap for players who can't reach that, that cusp of like, the next level. I feel like this game does promote helping them out, and but my thing is, hey, abuse it, use it, and abuse it. If it's there, it's there. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but I'm like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's how I see the game, how it's for, and when I see it like that, I enjoy it more. But I mean, I have honestly, man. If Terminator wasn't in the game, I wouldn't be playing it as much, to be honest.
yeah. I
But
want to let
Bro,
Slip.
speaking about that, Deb, I actually want to pick your brain on characters like Rambo and RoboCop because I watch your stream and I've been seeing you use them a lot
Well, let's
along with
Slip and
Terminator.
them and Zyphox weigh in on this before we
Yeah,
let
yeah.
them. But
okay,
real
yeah, I'll
quick,
wait
real.
on that next.
Let me just say, I do agree with you. I think they would like to make all the moves usable. In my opinion, I think every single banned move but one will get touched.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And I would,
Tom,
and I'm not even hating.
stop. Oh my
I would
god.
put my life on it, and so would Dave.
Tom, look, I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. Look, you
They're
gotta be
probably
careful
doing that shit
what
on
you wish
purpose to
for.
troll you, man. That's
Yeah, you gotta be
fucked up.
careful what you wish for because look, they're gonna make Ice Puddle legal, but it's not gonna be the Ice Puddle you
It'll
love.
never
It's
be.
gonna be like plus
It'll
one
never
on hit,
happen.
dude.
It'll never happen.
It's not gonna give you the plus
Well,
50
I
knockdown.
think Shiva is actually a really good example of what you're talking about, right?
Mhm.
Which is
With what?
people cannot make up their minds, right? Everyone was
Exactly.
like, "Yo, just let the customs rock. Every character will be broke.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah,
all
yeah,
have their
yeah.
dirt." You know what I mean? Why can't I use this move and that move? And they were like, "Fine." So Shiva Dragon Stance. Then everyone was like, "How could they?
Yep.
How could they let this happen? How could they give her this?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Yeah,
da,
they're
da,
like,
da, da.
nah, she's playing Injustice
You
3.
can't win. You
Nah,
can't
Jackie
win,
can't
man.
have that. Setron has 2.
You
Yeah, that's true.
You can't win, man. People want to pick
yeah.
and choose. Fuck them. Fuck
It's
them,
true.
man. Fuck
It's true.
all
Like,
of
look
them.
at this. How could they put this broken shit in the game? Shiva can't be touched.
Liu
Right.
Kang's a grappler, but he's zoning me,
Right. Fuck them, dude. Fuck them. It's
Yeah.
because of people like them that fuck it up for us. So, but I definitely want to hear what Slips and Zyphox and all what they're kind of thinking, because I like their thoughts and opinions on things too, for sure.
Slips and Zyphox, are you guys alive?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, well, I mean, Slips, you want to go? No, okay, listen. With how the game is now and how the game could be if we go balls deep with like touching up on some of these moves, what the fuck? Like it's sorry. It's a touchy thing, man, because a lot of people they feel like, they it's so like, what do you tell the people that started out with this game? Like, oh, that your game was watered down. I don't know if you guys ever really thought about that, because there's a bunch of new players that started playing this game when
So
MK11
Zyphox, don't you think the real issue, like, I think this is like people are completely missing the point. This is real the issue. There's something called balance. Not like as in balance as a character broken. I'm talking about balance as in, okay, you can have like something like MK9 where the diversity is completely crazy, and then you can have MK11. Why not try to build like a middle ground somewhere? Regardless of
Dave,
what the community says. Like,
you're asking for almost impossible. There's no game that has a super diverse cast that's super balanced. It's almost
I think
unheard of,
I
man.
think Tekken 7 is more diverse than this fucking game. 100%.
They definitely
And I
What?
can
found
give
a
you,
middle ground,
I
in my
can
opinion.
I think I can give you a million examples, and that's why the game is so successful. Not necessarily commercially as MK11, we all know that, but if you're talking about tournament wise, and you're talking about the way the game was received in the hardcore fighting game community, they're all happy. Nobody's complaining about Tekken, aside from a couple of stupid balance issues, right? But I'm not allowed to talk Tekken, and other people talk. Why are you mentioning other fighting games? Well, again, I mention it because it's
Here
been
it
done
comes,
before.
Graham. Here it comes.
That's right. Here comes.
First of all, I don't agree that Tekken is way more diverse than. What does that even mean? I feel like MK11 as look, hold on. MK11 as watered down and generic that people make it seem to be. Is it really
We
more
almost got
generic
out.
across the cast than Tekken?
Yes.
Are we sure about
Let me
that?
tell you why.
So you're saying Tekken has way more diverse playstyles? Like you got these crazy zoners, these aerial characters, like all kinds.
Okay, no, I'm not going to say that. Here's what
Then what are we really saying?
here's what I want to
Because to
say.
me that doesn't make
what
sense.
I mean is,
Do you mean viability, like balance,
No,
or
let
do you
me
mean
give you-
diversity in
I
playstyle?
think they mean like the mechanics.
let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Mortal Kombat has a technique that many people, casuals, complain about. They call it down one mashing. So say I'm playing Dab, and let's say Dab does a string that's like -5. I'm
2-1.
Sub-Zero, right? He does a string that's -5, right? And I'm like, oh, this dude's -5. I'm gonna take my turn. So normally, Dab, when you're heavily minus and people want to mash, you want to put some damage on the screen, right? Because they're mashing and you're not neutral. You're heavily minus, right?
Yeah.
Dab mashes down 1. Dab mashes down 1 because in this game it is a smart tactic against a majority, not all, a majority of the characters, because not everyone has 9-10 frame mids. I'd say the speed of the majority of the characters mids are between 12 and 13, right? And then you have a few characters that are 9, 10, 11. Dab does a string, down 1s. I try to check him with back 3, I lose. Throw, I lose. Jab, I lose. Overhead, I lose. It's better for Dab to always mash down 1 than to guard. Because even though he's -5, if he guards, he might get thrown, he might get mixed up, etc. By down oneing, he ensures the only thing I can do is down 1 back, even though he just did a full string. So I down 1 back, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to mash because I get a free down 1 poke here. And then, all right, you got me. Take your strike throw. But I'm going to make you have to down 1. And then he'll do a string, down 1 whiffs, backdash. This powers the entire game's stagger system. Because most mids are so slow that a big part of the meta is poke or 2 hits or even full string, down 1. This
Or
forces
flawless block.
or flawless block, but you do
Nope.
down 1 because if I do back 3, 2 can't flawless block that. Too many hits too fast, right? So you get me down oneing, which now frees up backdash, flawless block. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's all 50, man. It's crazy.
But you have made me do, or the player do, their least damaging, most risky. Do you not agree, Dab? It's better for you to down 1 there than block more times than not, right? Because if you block, you're going to get. So think about that is what powers this game's stagger system. I'm going to do a poke, -4, -5, -3, whatever it is. Then I can down 1 check as long as your mid is 12 frames or slower. You can't mid, you can't throw, you can't jab, none of this. And then I get you down oneing me back. I condition you. I'm not going to let you do any of this shit to me. You got to down one me back. And this is what frees up string into flawless block, string into backdash. This is why we see people do 1 or 2 hits, backdash, down 1 whiffs. And we're like, why did he down 1? He down 1 because he's been conditioned. That's the only thing to do, right? Now, of course, you can back up, backdash, make your down 1 whiff, punish your down 1. You can read that and come in and keep your offense going as if you're plus, even though you're minus. Or I can read the backdash and dash up and do something. And then again, you poke me, steal your turn back. There's a meta there, but it's universal throughout 95% of the characters. That is the up close meta that 95% of the characters use. So while in Tekken, no Mortal Kombat, every character is not the exact same character, right? Like to Rio's point, they all use the exact same core strategy through 95% of the cast. That is not the case in Tekken. I think that is what Dave is trying to say. The characters themselves, you're not going to have a crazy zoner and then, wow, what the fuck is this character doing? Holy shit. It's not like that. But as far as the core of the engine, it is not universal.
And also we also
I feel like Tekken would be more universal than MK11
well,
in my
to talk
opinion.
about the movement, we also talks about the movement, how MK9 were the good old days. Literally every character, there are differences, obviously, but you know how Rio made a video, he linked me to it about MK9, and please check it out. talks about the movement. Every character in Tekken moves very fast. Not everybody's Rain, but you get the point. Like you actually have freedom to move. Talk to us about movement.
But see, that's my point. Tekken's more universal because everybody has similar movement. In MK11, the movement is drastically different from Baraka to Rain.
Yeah, and all the characters who can usually move very fast are the better characters in the game. Like, for example, Setchion. We talk about her backdash.
It depends. You got characters like Sonya and Rain that got ice skates on, but they're not at the top of the list.
That's true, but again, it's not for everybody. Rain has issues because his damage is not that strong because hitbox issues. That's different. I'm talking about the fact like Setchion, like for example, Jackie in the air.
Look, I get what you're saying. I just feel like this is the worst example you could have brought up. I think just saying Tekken.
Jackie was good before, even without a wave dash. She was good before upgraded.
Yeah, and she was good before upgraded too.
Yeah,
And she's still top
I know,
five.
but she's good precisely because she's so good at that up close game.
I feel
that
like the
she can
Tekken example
kinda-
here just it's not cutting it, man. I don't think it's a
Let's
good one to say.
let the Zyphox finish up, man. Come on, man.
Right.
It's alright. I was pretty much done. I was just trying to point out that, like, no,
He's
I
like,
just
I'm
wanted to
over
point out.
it.
No, but look. To be fair, on what Zyphox was saying, I kind of agree though. Like, we need to stop comparing this game to past games because it has nothing to do with MK11.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
okay, MK11 may be watered down, but what the hell does Timmy care when he just picked up MK11? He didn't play these past games. Like, he's trying to learn the game, gather, grab knowledge. Why does he care that the past game was, more in depth? Like, what does that have to do with learning and playing MK11? Like, what does that matter?
I mean, they
Because
said
Stephanie
He's
said
having
that
fun. Let him do his thing.
because Stephanie said that all criticisms are welcome and will be considered for the next game. So why should we be quiet?
Yes, but when you're trying to teach people how to play a game, why do you need to bring other games? Like, can you really not teach somebody how to play MK11 if they only know how to play MK11? Is it not possible?
It's possible.
No, if they want to learn how to play the game, this is a podcast about various topics. If they want to
You know what?
learn how to play the game,
Dave, I feel like your examples are the worst thing I've ever heard in my life, man. First you bring up Tekken to MK11, now you bring up these generic responses. Like, what are you even talking about?
for the sake of moving along and not blowing you up here publicly, let me just
I was touching
ask-
Zyphox's point, dude.
let me ask Steph to comment on any of your characters before we wrap it up. So please, I want your like
Oh, Slips
specifics.
didn't even
of it.
weigh in on this on the game. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
Slips. Did you want to comment on that? I mean, you're the Tekken player. Not that you net would comment on.
Yeah, Slips, can you tell us how more diverse Tekken is in this game?
Oh god.
I think it's pretty similar, honestly. As far as like, there's plenty of situations in Tekken where you're like -9, and like people have to, or like where you have to do a jab check or a down jab check, and that's really the only thing that you can do.
Yeah.
And so there's plenty of situations like that in Tekken, and the only option you have to beat that jab is to do a low crush, or the only
Or
option
side
to
step
beat
hop
that,
kick or something like that.
or the only option to beat that down jab is to do a hop kick. And it's like that, and it's like that in this game too with the down jabs. Yeah, the only way to beat a down jab is to down jab back, or maybe do a really quick counter
you
counter
beat
poke.
a
If someone's
down-
gonna do,
You can
if
low
someone's
parry the
gonna do a
down
down
jab.
one,
Slips.
Dave, you can false block a down one too.
First of all, flawless blocking is a lot more difficult than parrying.
And
it's
MK11
also-
has some hard execution, dude.
but here's the difference, though.
As
Not
much as you
ev-
want to say the
not
game
every-
is dumbed down, you got to give it props where it's
Not
due.
every character can flawless block up to, because some of them have terrible ranges. But guess
You
what?
could false block up 3 usually.
Yeah, which is irrelevant.
and I think the movement in
Jack.
Tekken is not as universal as you're saying. Some characters' movement is god awful.
Yeah, of course.
in Tekken 7.
Yeah, I know, but it's like that for a reason. But for the most part, everybody, like Jack, he's fat, but he has a good backdash, but his sidestep is horrible. It's there for balancing reasons, and that's fine. But anyway, I want to talk to Dab about. Please comment on your characters, man. What do you think? Give us like what you think about Terminator. Run it down a bit for us briefly. Terminator, RoboCop, Rambo,
Please
and some.
do this for
couple other-
everybody. Please let everyone do this topic. God damn, go
Here,
first.
let me tell you something here. Okay, so for Terminator, I don't know if you guys seen me from the beginning of the game. I would bitch about how shit Terminator was, right? And I wouldn't bitch about how like the character was in general. Because I always thought he was strong. I just thought it was shitty how his design was, right? Like I didn't see anything that was like really, Terminator-esque and whatnot. But eventually I got over it, and I actually started seeing the design for what it was. When you're playing against Terminator, like no one wants to play against the Terminator. Like you want to get away from the machine. Like the machine is a killing machine, right? So like how they made his design was actually pretty fucking genius. You know, MKX kind of style, 50-50. Like when he's in you, when he's on you, he's on you. Like you want to run away, right? You don't want to be around the T800. So I started to see it for the beauty for what it was, and I started to roll with it. But a little like a little nod from NRS when Stephanie gave us that little hint. It wasn't there pre-patch because trust me, I tried it. Where you add the incapacitator and the vice grip when he does his do the 4-2. When you do the 4-2 and you do the grab and you amplify it, because I would always ask for why isn't there moves like when he tackles him down, why can't he, instead of smashing his nuts, like looking back, he's scared. Oh my god, why can't he like just slam you, pull out a shotgun, blast you in your chest, have it be a crushing blow, more Terminator-esque or whatever? Or why can't he slam the grenade in their head, just like the movies, And they actually did it. They actually, I mean, I'm never going to use it because it takes too many slots and it's not worth it. But I think that's pretty cool. They actually he does 4-2. You use the grab, you do the grab and you amplify it. He pulls the fucking ion grenade from his side and slams it in your head, just like the movies. I was like, oh, they're so cool for that. Like they did it. Like even though I'm never going to use it because it's not viable compared to what I have, but I thought that was cool. So I just wanted to give a shout out to NRS for actually. I mean, we all know they listen, but I thought that was cool that they specifically listened to that. Terminator is a character that is very versatile, especially now with a teleport. So you're mixing up run and teleport, so he can go run in front of you, or he can come up behind you. I think it's really good, and I think if I master it, I think I'll be pretty good with it. So I think he's
Can
definitely
you
gonna be
just briefly talk about that? Just gonna talk generics a bit because I think can you explain to people like how many slots those moves are? Because a lot of people will not know that stuff. Like for example, I play the game and I don't know. Is the teleport just one slot?
Teleport's one slot. I still feel Dark Fate is his best variation. Those combinations together are always going to be good. Having that restand, being able to restand someone for 25% to hit them with the 50-50, or hitting them with crushing blows, ending your combos at like 38% with the grab into a 50-50, really strong.
So wait,
Teleport.
so what are the moves though? So what are the moves that you use for competitive Terminator?
For his best variation, that what I
Yeah.
use is the Dark Fate loadout. You have run tackle, you have air grab for your restands, and you have some pretty cool creative combos with that. And then you have the I'll be back breaker, the crushing blow command grab.
On the command throw, right? Okay.
Exactly. With sorry. Switching out the teleport for the air grab it's a good way to get against characters like Cetrion, like Raiden, like Jade, characters that really give you a fucking tough time when you're playing at Dark Fate. So I think having that and mastering it, you'll be a good Terminator. It's not gonna be easy, but you're fucking Zangief, man. You're Zangief in Mortal Kombat 11. You have a shotgun and you can teleport and you can fucking run. Okay, so use it and abuse it. Use it and abuse it.
Dab, you had the
RoboCop,
sickest clip I've ever seen from MK11, dude. When you grab that Aaron Black Ford 4 mid-air, that shit had me shook, man. That was the sickest thing I've ever seen.
It was like a
That
4
read
second
was
clip.
so crazy, and it cuts off at the perfect time. There's like a little scream, and it cuts off, and you don't know what happened.
Dude,
That shit was so good.
Dude, he's amazing. I love the character, even when
Dude, I've never seen anybody do that, man. Dab literally instant air grabbed a Aaron Black at a forward 4. Like, how could you get read that hard?
It's crazy, man. It's good. It's that good.
Are you
Thank
literally
you.
asking how someone could know Aaron Black was going to do forward 4 from me?
No, but dude, to do that,
Is that
but to
you're
do what
asking
Dab
me?
did, that was so on point though. Like,
It
just,
was
you have
sick.
to time that
Nah,
shit.
it was sick.
Well,
It was the sickest thing I've ever seen.
The read wasn't the impressive thing; it was to time it. That was
Yeah.
that was sick.
Yeah,
It was the coolest thing I've ever seen, man.
It has a fucking value.
Like if you guessed forward 4, you'd be right 70% of the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, but a lot of characters can't really do shit about it.
That's true.
How about Aaron Black players for the longest time saying this move is worthless? Dude, come on, dude.
To switch. Well, thank you. You just mentioned it. I've been waiting for this moment. Okay, I've been waiting
Oh
for this moment for like an
God.
hour and 10 minutes. All
Love
right.
that
all right.
stuff.
Well,
Dude,
Love
here
that
we
sorry,
go.
stuff,
That's
I
boy.
don't
right.
want to keep you guys.
Uh-oh.
Let me
Here
get
we
to the
go.
No,
point.
no, no, no. I
Crim,
want to hear
go.
about Robo.
Crim, make it stop. Crim.
Care,
Dad,
Dev,
get out while
be
you
very,
can.
very careful what you say about this character. With that said, go ahead, please. What do you think about RoboCop, and
This is your
what are his best? What is his best variation? Go ahead, please.
this is your baby. Okay, so I stick with I stick with the traditional variation too, but I swap out the missile for the command grab. That's all I do. I for me, I think that's the best for me on how to play the character because the character, how I feel, is designed to keep you away. Is designed, with that mid low shot, with the zoning, with the the missile, whatever. But I think having that command grab makes him and flamethrower. God, to me, like he's still shit. But to me, I feel like having the flamethrower
That's all
and
I
the
wanted to
command
hear.
grab.
Now I feel good about myself. That's literally
Funny.
all I wanted to
Yeah,
hear.
Dave was not
no,
enough.
he's still shit. Now
Dave said that's enough. Thank you,
I'll
sir.
say
Dave
The
why.
was enough.
segment's over.
No,
That's enough.
he's
Thank
still
you, sir.
shit.
I'll
I
take
mean,
that.
What is
I mean,
this?
he's better now, but he's still shit. But I have to say, I don't want to keep too long because I know I don't want to. I want other people to talk to you. So I feel like
You're the
having the
guest, man. We're asking you, man. Don't worry about it. We're the guest.
all
We're
right.
asking about the character that you use, so don't worry about it.
All right, cool. Thank you. So I feel like having the flamethrower and the command grab is super beneficial for him because without that, he doesn't have shit. I think him having that is like the best dirt that he has. And it's kind of like I see it in a way like I'm a zoning Terminator without 50/50s, without overhead and low. But I have a restand that does around the same amount of damage, and I have a command grab that does around the same amount of damage. So I think that's definitely good for some matchups. But I still feel like he needs some love up close. You know what I mean? But he's their quote unquote premier zoner, so I guess he's not going to get shit. But it would be cool to see what I would think 4-3-2-2 to be special cancelable. Make that more of a threat instead of 4-3-2. What's the point? Because it would be a cool mix up to get 4-3-2-2. One, to get the gunshots off at the end of that string, or to trick them out and throw out a flamethrower and like, hey, it's the mix up. You got to hold it. Now we're about to restand you, fucking command grab or whatnot. I think the pop ups are shit. Except for back two. Back two is good when you hit it. It sucks that it's a high. It would be cool maybe if it could be a mid. I did used to say overhead, but I don't want to overdo it, and I don't know. I've been so traumatized by MK11. People's like, oh, this is broken, that is broken, this is broken. Cool. If it's overhead, I'll fucking take that shit. Yes, but if not, then
Well,
mid.
it should not be an overhead. I don't. I think that's
Yeah, it
out
would
of
be
the
too
line of this
strong.
game.
Too
Yeah, it
strong.
would be too
Yeah.
strong. But I think.
Forward,
Go ahead,
forward
please.
4-2. Oh, I'm sorry. A forward 4-2. I fucking hate that it pops up like mid screen. I wish it would pop up right in front of you so you can have better use of your combos. At least get a 30 bar for it. I mean, you can if you use some meter, but you can get a little bit more for the 30 bar if they can pop up in front of you. I think that would be really good, in my opinion. And if maybe the grenade launcher could trade. It sucks that it can get parried.
I think the grenade. I think the grenade should hit. It should count as a
Yeah.
non. It should count as a physical attack. So when you actually hit
Yes,
like Jade out of a glow, it should hit. It should hit Jade. It should hit the Shake from Shang Tsung.
I
I
agree.
think if
100%.
NRS has any, this is going to prove to me if they have any idea, or even if they care about the character, to make those changes. It
Yeah.
will, like Rio and I are talking about, it will not affect any of his good matchups because they don't have those moves, right? So that would give him an ability to fight his arguably 7-3 matchups. It would give him a
Right.
chance. It would not affect like Baraka or Spawn, any of those other characters. I think it would be completely fair.
Yes, I totally agree, and I feel like those things alone. I mean, I wish forward 2-2, maybe forward 2 could be a little bit faster. Would be cool for having a little bit faster. I mean, he does have, granted, he does have forward 3, so, but maybe it'd be cool if it was a little bit faster. And if maybe I don't know if this is too much, but I would love for it to pop up on hit on the special bar.
Well, we may have to agree to disagree about that. But I do want to ask you, and maybe you can compare with Slips, RoboCop aside. about Rambo, because I know Slips liked the character a lot. Can you tell us your ideal variation and how you, from what I see, and you please correct me if I'm wrong, the snare trap, I think that's the juggle starter. That's almost like requirement, but the problem is it's 2 slots, and then maybe you want to have the command grab. Am I wrong or right? What do you think?
Yeah, I would love to use snare trap, and maybe maybe the future, Rambo, maybe it be the future of Rambo. Maybe it will be the future of him, at a higher level. I still feel like a couple of things need to be touched, for him to be a little bit better. He does have great mids though. The mids are really good. It just sucks that I think that they're a little bit held back. But hey, he just came out, and they're probably looking at things. And but I think if snare trap would combo off of launchers, I would love that. I would use snare trap. Um, but it doesn't. It only works off of hit confirms, and I just, it is what it is. So I think it's strong. I think it's really good. He does have some good mix ups in his pressure. I think the crawl mix up is really good. I mean, it's like a tick throw for me, and some of them jail into the strike and into the throw and the throw. So I think that's really good. I love that about him. I wish it was I wish, like, if he were to get an anti-air, or if he were to get a pop up from, like, let's say mime, or even the snare trap or whatnot. If he could get a forward 1-2-2 and it would actually launch, like, not just gravity just sat in, because okay, I don't like to compare characters, because I know, like, I see balance in a fighting game, like, as in life. Like, there's always gonna be someone better than you, stronger, smarter, better looking, whatever, than you in life. There just is. That's just life, and that's
That's
the
in
beauty of
everything.
it.
Sports,
That's in
everything.
everything in life, exactly.
Always a better
So
team,
I
always a
kind of
better player. Yeah.
exactly, and that humbles me a lot when it comes to approaching fighting games. That's the kind of analogy that I look at it, right? And I look at Joker, and Joker's like, "Oh yeah, let me just launch you real quick. Oh, let me 1-2-1 into a special. Oh, this into that. 38%. It's easy
His
money,
hitboxes never
baby."
whiff. They hit you from max
I
range
know,
always.
right? Yeah.
Right, right. And I'm like, Rambo's like, okay, I just hit you with a proximity mine, and then I try to do forward 1-2-2, and it drops, and I'm like, Jesus, God help me, please, Jesus.
Yeah, that's a story of Rambo, dude. Like, that's the thing. Rambo's been flip flopping. I remember when he came out, everybody's like, "Yo, S tier. This is too
Yeah.
cheap. This is that." But he's like slowly going down, and like he's got so many hitbox issues. He's got so much combo inconsistencies. Like, things drop. Dude, I had somebody down to me at a Rambo's back 3-3 on block because like from distance it didn't like connect or something. I'm like, this character has so many hitbox issues.
I mean, they'll fix
I'm not
that in
joking.
MK12. They'll fix that. Those
Yeah,
hitbox.
they'll fix that. Yeah,
Dab, if you had to play in a tournament or have a money match,
Yeah,
which
wait.
one of
First,
you?
I wait, hold on. First, I want to ask Stab, how strong do you think Rambo is? Because honestly,
I,
personally, I feel like he's on the lower end of the cast.
honestly, I can't agree anymore. I mean, I know he just came out. Maybe we haven't found something. But from what I see initially, and I'm comparing not to other games, but to the cast in this game, I feel like Rambo just isn't cut. In some matches, he can cut it. Some, like, if I'm playing against Baraka, like, or Aaron Black, I'm keeping that bitch out. Like, I'm throwing mime, and I'm trip guarding you with the
True.
fucking little trap, right? But it's good for some matches, but I think he's still on the lower end, in my opinion. I don't think he's mid. He may seem strong in some matches. People still haven't figured out how to punish the mime setups in the corner. Like, everyone can literally punish it.
They just get up
Sorry
and
for
block
them.
and get hit or whatever. It's kind of funny to watch.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Rambo players, if I put us all out on the bus. But yeah, I don't see myself playing him at least until some of those things get touched. Even his missile strikes, like, the missile strikes will hit the opponent, but they won't get hit. Like, little things like that. But hey, they're working on it. They're probably working on their new project. I mean, at this point,
MK12 will get done.
right. Exactly. At this
Bro.
point, I'm just like, it is what it is. In a way, it is cool to see. Sylvester.
Well, that's why I was gonna ask you. If you had to play in a tournament, or if you had to play for money or for prize, which one of your characters would you use? Well,
Oh,
which one of those characters would you play?
Terminator all the way. Dark Fate for the characters I can play footsies with. and I would probably use teleport, to switch that with air grab against characters like Cetrion or characters like
You
Raiden,
would not
Jade.
pick. You would not pick Jax over Terminator, which is
I
interesting.
might. Now I was gonna get there. Jax is one of the winners from the customs patch, and the loadout that I have, and they're all one slot each. I have the clap, which is his armor breaker, and it also gives him when he has heated arms, he has meterless launchers. Okay, and if they're fully heated mid screen, you could get like 30%. You could get like 40 something if you use a crushing blow. It's totally worth it. And it's better than the gotcha grab. For God knows why, I don't know. It's -17 on block. I guess they said, you know what?
What is negative? Oh,
We're not giving them a neutral MK9 gotcha grab no more. So hey, it is what it is. Like I said, they balanced it. They do what they got to do. I'm not a fucking designer. They went to school for this shit, so I'm not going to argue that. But
well,
the
speaking of
clap,
people's characters, go
I'm
ahead,
not
Deb.
being I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not talking shit. I'm being serious. And the clap, he's got the clap, okay? And it's like
What?
negative. It's like -9.
He's
Okay, I'll
got the
take negative
clap.
over -17
Yeah, it's his
any day.
move.
Exactly, and it's an armor breaker, and it's a meterless launcher. Enhanced outrank, which is multiple punches. You gain 2 more tick throws with the command grab, which is the next move that I add in there. So I think Jax is a huge winner, and I think keeping him around as like my third series main character is gonna be good because I am serious about picking up Cetrion, and using
Just
abusing her.
Deb, real quick. What do you rank Jax on the tier list?
Jesus, man. I think, man, before the patch, I thought he was like 16th best. Man, he was like mid. Like he was like mid. He's strong, but he's mid. He's like Nightwolf's right there where he was at because you're doing the same string that is really viable. Now he's like he's complete. So, man, I want to say I still kind of put him at mid in a way, but he's stronger. Like he can fight more, better.
Okay.
I still think he's like mid, like high mid.
And that would make sense, right? Because a lot of other characters also got a lot better.
Exactly. So I think
Yeah, like Jax got better, but other characters got better, like way
right.
better.
You got Cetrion. Like I feel like people still haven't figured out how fucked up Spawn really is. Despite of some of his slow buttons, the character's nuts, ridiculous, best damage in the game. Besides maybe Cold
I
War.
think people know. I think people have seen because of DJT.
Yeah.
I know Tom was talking about playing it. Tom was playing him recently, and I saw long seas with Cowboy as well. Yeah, once Cena corners you and that 3-4 starts popping out, man, good luck getting out because you can't jump, can't really hit any buttons, and it seems really, really hard to get out of the corner against that character.
Yeah,
And
his
he's got a
movement's
decent.
good on the ground too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's much faster.
What does he have like the best? Does he still have the best backdash in the game? Because I know Fujin and Rain are good too.
I think Melina is actually better than his. Melina's
Really?
backdash
Yeah,
is
Melina
insane.
has the
Melina
best
does have a good
Hers is
backdash,
better
and
than
then
even Cetrion's.
yeah, hers is better, and then Setchion is the second best. But yeah,
Yeah, Spawn has top tier backdash though. It's probably top 3, top 5.
yeah, and he's also got a great forward movement as well. So it's difficult to react to he dashes forward throw, or is he just gonna stand there and do the cape back? What is it, back one?
Yeah, I would probably be risky and probably run Dark Fate against Spawn, even though I know when I get cornered it's gonna be tough. But I think I can get it done for sure.
Tom, did you want to add anything? I'm sorry we interrupted you earlier. Tom, you there?
I was gonna ask Dab, who you think is the
Go
better
ahead,
wrestling
please.
character, Jax or Terminator?
But you said a better what character?
Rushdown.
Rushdown.
Oh, Rushdown.
Fuck, Terminator's the best character up close. So, when it comes to that, I think Terminator. But if you're talking about like staggers and mixing up, making you guess like off of that, I would say Jax. But like my former Rushdown is like MK9 block pressure. Like when I hear Rushdown, I just think of MK9 block pressure. I don't know why. That's just what
Yeah,
emulates. in
that's
my
like
head.
Cetrion shit right there, dude. Just swinging,
Exactly.
swinging, making
And
you
that's why I
press,
think
making you
I'll
press
like
something.
her because she has. I forgot to say that she has like MK9 pressure. It's weird to say.
She does, yeah.
Yeah, and I
She
think
makes
I
you
might,
like she's always on. It's like it's weird. It's like it's always her turn. She's always swinging, and she makes you have to do something. Are you gonna sit there, keep taking it, or are you gonna eventually press a button?
Right, and I think that's why I think I might actually enjoy her because she has that MK9 kind of pressure. Like it's funny, she keep you out, she can zone you. You can't jump, can't none of this. Oh, she has Superman's eye laser, has better recovery. Oh, okay. Now she has fucking Johnny Cage MK9 pressure. Not that she's like +6 after fireballs, but her staggers are stupid. So
Yeah, she can space you out, like we said earlier. She can space you out very well and get into a position to make you whiff a button, and then she can punish
Yes.
you or backdash. Yeah, just
I
It's
would-
very
be
difficult
safe.
for other characters to swing back.
But Zyphox, I would say Jax is better like for block pressure. But I think if I'm going to be realistic for a rushdown character, Terminator, because you can't react to run tackle from like jump distance. You have to preemptively do something. So I think once he's in, then it's like fuck. The T1000 chase music comes on. You're like shit. This fool's on me. What am I going to do? And then it's just forward 2 fatal blow, and then so it's like
Yeah.
he's the best.
I'm dead.
He's the best character up close for sure, though. 100% best character up close. You can't fuck
Should
with.
have been there when that was born.
Well,
Zyphox. That was a funny night.
Tom, well, I was gonna.
Bro, Chef hated those days. Wonder Chef hated those days.
Tom,
Days ago.
Yeah.
Tom, is there something if there's something you're gonna add? I'm sorry because we interrupted you early. I think you were maybe want to say. Did you
No,
want to say something?
I just wanted to. Well, I wanted people to kind of give their opinion of maybe like one of their characters, like Rio and the Molina community. How like they're at war.
Bro, we really bringing this up. There's no war, dude. I don't even
God,
talk about Molina anymore.
Stop.
I'm past that, dude.
No,
All
they're
right.
not bad. They're not past
Rio,
you.
Okay, like really, what is the war? All I said was I think Molina is good and she's the best out of the DLC. That was the war comment. And then all I did was call out 30 ridiculous buffs that they did the day after she came out, and that was it. Like there's no
Every
war here.
community makes ridiculous buffs.
Yes, but the only difference is there's one community that will put you on like the Antichrist board if you say anything about the character. The Liu Kang community then slash my tires. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Yeah, like Molina, you can't say anything about the character. You have to either sit there and agree with it, or you're being a
Antichrist
shill.
board?
That's not true.
Where is the Antichrist board so I can?
Well,
See,
hold
Only
on,
Molina players have it.
hold on a minute. I think there are a couple of communities that are I think more vocal than anybody else. I think it's fair to say
I say Molina, Katana,
No.
Jade
for sure.
are probably the most
Yeah.
vocal.
Yeah.
You can't sit down and have coffee and tea with them type of community. Like you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
you need
yeah.
to either agree or get out. They're kind of like a cult in a way.
They're
It's weird.
a cult.
But yeah, but I do want to say one thing about Citron though regarding her.
Yes.
A lot of people kind of want her to get nerfed or are looking forward to her nerfs, but I think NRS isn't going to nerf her because to me, it doesn't make any sense how you could nerf Citron and leave characters like Fujin, Jackie, Lu, Joe. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So if they're going to nerf her, they would have to nerf all of the top tier. And I don't think they're going to do it. That's way too much work.
Very easily. It's the
What I think they're going to do is this.
Rio,
I
hold on,
think
hold
they're
on a
going
minute.
to buff a lot of the lower tiers next patch. A lot of them.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
No, I think they're going to do that.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Look, I know what they're gonna do, and if you don't think this, you're crazy. Okay, they're gonna follow the Crimson logic. Zoning equals badness. That's what they're gonna do. So they're gonna be like, wait a minute, this character. That's right. Well, I'm not saying it's Crimson who's gonna do the nerfing. It's NRS, obviously, but I'm just saying the logic is gonna be the following, and I will bet any money on it. Guys, have fun with Deadly Winds. That move is gonna be gone. Like it's gonna be nerfed. Most likely,
Yeah, if they
uselessness.
nerf it, I'll drop her. They nerf it, I'll
Yeah,
drop her.
they're most likely gonna nerf it. That's just a fact. We have to face reality. Do I think they're gonna
I'm
nerf her backdash? Is she still gonna be top tier? Yeah, but they're just gonna make one variation that people are using right now. They're gonna nerf it. That's just a fact. And I can tell you why. It kind of slows the game down. Just it didn't allow the ice puddle. Everything that slows the game down is a no-no. Is already not okay, and that's why the character's gonna get nerfed. It's simple for that. Just based on that logic.
But is it really about the zoning, or is it really the fact that does that character need another semi-safe way to end the combo that spaces you out? She already has some of the best staggers in the entire game. I just feel like if they nerf the tornado, it's because they feel she doesn't need it.
Yeah, with having
rock wall. I mean,
nerfing the tornado is not gonna increase RoboCop's fun for the RoboCop players, or for the Shao Kahn players, or for
Yeah.
the Scarlet players. It's not gonna do anything. It's just gonna make one unbearable matchup slightly more bearable. It's not gonna do anything
Well,
for
Shotgun players have been waiting for actual buffs for over 2 years, but apparently they need to wait in line behind Melina now.
Well,
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with my shots. I'm done.
okay,
You
that's
hear
fine.
this?
That's fine.
I'm dropping it.
Melina-
Look,
Melina-
Melina players,
No,
you win.
Rio, you have to say
No,
it.
no,
You have
look.
to say it.
I'm gonna concede. Melina players, you win. Make Ford one a mid. Make her ball roll faster. Give her everything. Because you know what? I may play her next patch.
Melina players,
That's
you
fine.
hear this? You've won. All you had to do was threaten to put a Rio on the Antichrist board, whatever that is.
Well, look, guys, we're almost out of time. I want to give Deb the last word because we want to wrap it up.
I have one
Almost
thing
a
to
ha-
say. I do want to say one
Tom, you
thing.
gotta wrap it up, man. Go
No,
ahead.
I just
Say
want
one
to say
thing. Then
one
I'm
thing
gonna
real
give
quick.
Deb.
And I think
Okay.
I've earned the right to say this, as this is not even a troll. As probably the longest character loyalist in the history of fighting games, that's probably true, ironically. God, I fucking hate that character, and I wish that they would do something. He's a top character, Sub-Zero. I know you all hate fighting him. Believe me, I know you all do. There cannot be a more generic, less fun way to play the game than use that character. Literally, it's as if whoever designed him put literally 2 minutes of thought into the process. He's going to do an overhead, he's going to do low, and that's all he's going to do. And it's just, I know I was excited because I thought, oh, maybe there's another way to play the game. There's this puddle move, and I figured, people are going to cry about it as it is, the Mortal Kombat community, but they'll probably tone it down, and they, moved it. And I know there's no change coming in MK11, but I understand they want balance, so you want to keep things as simple as possible, especially when games come out every 2 years, which MK11 was in that process. You have to keep it as simple as possible, as basic as possible, in order to create that balance. Because the more complex, the
Tom,
more diverse stuff
Tom,
is.
it's not about the balance. It's the move can
Well,
be made balanced. They
that's
don't
why the
want to.
game
You
is so
know
simple.
why they move. Well, it's not even about the big games. They don't want to move with the game for one very obvious reasons, and you know what their reason is. Anything that slows the game down even slightly, people just freak out. I'm sorry, but it's a fact.
Yeah,
You think they want you tossing that, pulling the ice bottle on the floor, so I'm sorry, Jackie player actually has to think when he has to leap. You still think they want to do that? No, they don't.
I mean, no, that's true.
Wait, how is the ice put on the ground gonna prevent a Jackie from leaping? What? She's gonna go over it.
Not necessarily.
That's like saying Rambo's mine. Jackie can't leap in. That bitch is jumping in.
No, she's still gonna leap. But
Like, what are you guys talking about?
Well,
no,
she
the thing
can't.
is,
In what world
can
is
body
Jackie
blade-
gonna be like, oh my god, there's an ice puddle on the ground?
No,
Better
you-
not go in
can-
the air over
was
it.
she was saying she can't land on you with it there.
Well,
But-
she can't jump on Baraka, so you want to slow the game down. Play Baraka.
No, it's not about
True.
that's
That's
enjoy
true.
yourself.
It's not about Jackie. The whole
Like,
point of
Dude, I
Who
played Jackie
really
players with Baraka. Dude,
Hold
they
on,
can't
hold on.
jump, man.
Crimson,
hold on.
Tom, let me just quick example. There was a character who could do stuff like that. His name was Captain Cold, who could put an ice puddle on the floor and completely slow the game down against certain characters. That character got wrecked.
Yeah, well, people
Well,
hated
to
Captain
be
Cold.
fair, you're not telling the whole
I
story here.
know,
Captain
yeah.
Cold players were telling everybody that the character was horrible, needed a million buffs, he wasn't good, and then one person came out of nowhere and played the character, and then showed people how to play the character, and then we're like, oh, yeah, the character's kind of stupid. It just, that's how it
Yeah,
goes.
and then
though.
then he got over nerfed.
So it wasn't that he got nerfed necessarily because he was a zoner. It's because, dude, the character was actually doing. Did you not see what the character was doing to you, Dave? He was doing like Cyrix resets that you couldn't get out of.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
know, but
ridiculous.
How are you defending that?
I'm not defending anything.
Yeah,
Not
slowing
only
the
did
game
they-
down, putting up a dome, you can't move, everything is plus, and you get
Not only
relaunched
did they
into
normalize
an
that,
injury.
they also normalized other stuff that didn't even need to be normalized, and that's why.
That's true. They did over nerf him. I agree with that. They didn't have to over
There's
nerf him.
one
They
thing
went a
Sonic
little
Fox
overboard.
complained about like recently was actually about those nerfs. It's like this character's just useless now. Like, what's the point? Like, I'm never going to use him again. He never did.
Well,
But yeah,
again,
Crimson, keep defending, keeping an anti-zoning zealot that we all know you are.
anti-zoning. Just for me, just from a fun perspective, as when people are going to say, "Oh, Tom, you just don't adapt." I've been a character loyalist of Sub-Zero since 1992. I think I've done a lot of goddamn adapting to have made it this far. I was still able to place in 2011 and MK9, close to top 8, not quite an MKX. So that's 2015. That's a long fucking time. I've done a lot of adapting with the character. And I can just tell you that one of the cool things I loved about Mortal Kombat is how not generic the characters were. How like Mortal Kombat has always been, especially with MK specials, they've always the difference between Mortal Kombat and every other games is you have special moves, and Mortal Kombat special moves are like holy fucking shit. MK specials are always over the top. That's one of the pluses to Mortal Kombat. And now they're like, these specials, let's scale them down and just overhead or low. They make characters so generic, and I know I'm not the only one that feels this. And I understand why you did it, you know, because you want the game to be more balanced. So you have to simplify things. You have to make things more universal. Things have to be more watered down. I understand that, but just going forward, please never do that again, because that was what Mortal Kombat's always been about. That's half of the fun in Mortal Kombat. So
Yeah,
Well, Dad,
definitely
we'll
agree.
give you the last. We'll give you the last word about anything you want to mention, whether it's this topic or about any of the other stuff. Please give us the last word. Go ahead, please.
I definitely want to, I think, there's a lot of people that may think like I do. I'm pretty sure they do, but I think the next game that they're working on is a Marvel versus DC game, and I think it's gonna be fucking glorious as hell. So that's my hunch from all the things that Ed has said to now. So I hope it is, because maybe they're getting to the point where it's like a franchise fatigue type of thing, and they just got to take a break and switch it up. So that's my guess. That would be cool. I want to give a thanks to all you guys, Rio hitting me up, and you guys being cool as always. So thank you everybody for tapping into Rio and the show. And don't forget to tune into NRSQR 92.5 The Realm, where we keep it smooth while you flawless block that.
Well, we want to thank you, Dad, for joining us, and I also want to thank my co-hosts as usual, Crimson, Rio, Slips, Tom Brady, and Zyphox. Guys, please let us know what you think in the comments, whether it's on Test Your Mind or YouTube or any other social media outlet. Thank you for listening, and we will see you on the next episode of the podcast. Bye, everybody.